Just wanted to let you know that this video is sponsored by Raise Energy and Rep Sports. If you want to get a good energy drink, Rep Sports is the way to go, especially with the Raise Energy brand. I've got here the limited edition Voodoo flavor and the limited edition Apollo flavor. Be sure to follow all the links down here and in the description below. Use the coupon code SALZER88 and you will get 15% off your purchase, and part of that kickback goes back to me. Thank you very much. Here's the video. Hello, welcome to MMA Freak Fight of the Week. I'm Matt Salzer. So for this week, we are going to give the Fight of the Week at PFL 3 to Kayla Harrison, who in her Season 3 debut got the TKO win against Morono. Good for her. And then to cover the main event, we had a very interesting situation where in Fabricio Werdum versus Renan Ferreira looked like he might have tapped, and the ref didn't see it. Now, originally this was ruled a TKO, but then a very weird thing happened. The Athletic Commission decided to rule it as a no contest because of the tap, which means that those 6 points that Ferreira got are reduced to 1 each for him and Werdum. This is a very, very, very interesting twist, to say the least. So that's how that's gonna go. So interesting twist there. Then for Bellator 258, the debut win of Fight of the Week is gonna go to Anthony Rumble Johnson, who in the opening round of the Grand Prix, the quarterfinals, took out Jose Augusto. And I can't really say that I wasn't expecting this. He was the favorite going in there, so good for him. He now gets his crack at Vadim Nemkov for the light heavyweight title, so that's going to be an interesting one. Then for the main event, you had Sergio Pettis pulling arguably an upset. I'm not surprised though, because I thought Sergio was going to win, but pulling an upset decision win against Juan Archuleta. And then he proceeded to call out Kyoji Horiguchi, who previously vacated the title because of injury. So we're trying to essentially unite the linear titles there. So we'll see if that eventually happens. I mean, there is kind of a working relationship with Ryzen and Bellator, so we'll see how that goes. Then for UFC on ESPN 24, or UFC on ESPN Rodriguez versus Watterson, you had Marina Rodriguez fighting up against Michelle Watterson. They fought up at flyweight so that they could make weight because this was a short notice main event fight. And Rodriguez essentially controlled Watterson most of the time. There were a few rounds where Watterson got some offense in, and one of the judges actually did score 2 of the rounds for Watterson, but Rodriguez got the overall win. So it could be, she might be next in line for the title. We'll just have to wait and see. But either way, good for her. Then for the Fight of the Week, I'm going to give it to Alex Morono, who TKO'd Donald Cerrone. And of note, this is just very sad to see Cowboy fall like this. Honestly, he needs to retire. He's unfortunately just one of those veterans who just doesn't know when to call it quits. I mean, he's not the best fighter. I mean, granted, he does have this large history. No one can deny him that. He set several UFC records, but he was never the champion. And then on top of that, as the past has just shown, he just doesn't have it anymore. And it's sorry to see this because, you know, his whole gig now is that he wants to fight to get money so that he could feed his baby boy. I mean, there's other ways of doing that, but I don't think fighting is necessarily the way to do it now. I just don't think he has it anymore. And he really should hang up the gloves. And if he isn't careful... Now, granted, Dana White said he's going to give him one more fight. He's going to give him one more fight at lightweight. But I'm pretty sure that either when his contract runs out, if I can't remember if this is going to be the last fight in his contract or if there's more fights after that, but if case the next fight is on the contract, there's a very good chance that he might just do what he's done with several veterans of the game and just let them go, which is sad to see. He could definitely go elsewhere. I mean, he could go to Bellator. Being that the season currently is on right now, I doubt PFL would take him. One championship. There are other alternatives, but as in terms of the UFC, I don't think he's quite there anymore. So either way, that was the Fight of the Week section. Then for the one preview that's going to go on, because surprise, surprise, there aren't any Bellator or PFL fights this week. We are going to see at UFC 262 in Houston another live audience show. Charles Oliveira facing off against Michael Chandler. Now, I honestly think Chandler could win. I mean, Oliveira and Chandler both. Chandler came into the UFC and he made a statement. He took out Dan Hooker. We all know that he's an elite level lightweight. And then Charles Oliveira recently has gone on a winning streak as well. He's done very well since moving up to lightweight from featherweight. I feel like he's one of those fighters who thought lighter was just better, but the reality was it was sapping. The weight cut saps a lot out of people, especially if they're cutting too much weight. Saps your endurance, it saps your cardio, saps your strength. It just saps way too much, and 24 hours realistically is not enough to be able to gain all that strength back, regardless of how much you eat or how much water weight you put on. It's just not enough. So it was good to see that happen. It's good to see that Oliveira decided, you know what, this isn't working for me. Not to mention that he was losing weight. If you miss weight multiple times, then you're probably not in the right weight class, because you're cutting way too much and you can't do it smart enough. So it's good to see that happened. Now here he is fighting for a title. I'd say that was a good move. So that's it. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below what you thought of the fights last week and what you think of UFC 262 coming up this week. Be sure to follow at Matthew Salzer both by Twitter and my Instagram. Be sure to follow at MMA Freakout for content as well. Be sure to check out MMA-freak.com for exclusive content on the site. And also be sure to check out Raise Energy and Rep Sports. There's a lot of products there and new stuff is coming out all the time. So either way, thank you very much. I'll see you next time.